we're going to go very quickly into a phase 3 to get this drug in melanoma to patients as fast as we can. But what's even more exciting to me is we've proven the mechanism that Moderna's mRNA technology can teach cancer patients T-cell how to recognize cancer. So what does that mean? That I believe this should be used in many more cancers.
That was Moderna CEO Stéphane Bancel. You can see shares of Moderna surged today, closing up nearly 20% on the news that the company met positive results from its cancer vaccine clinical trial. Now, meanwhile, the VC firm that helped launch Moderna, Flagship Pioneering, announced a new healthcare platform to help create medicines that treat and preempt a broad range of chronic diseases. Anjalee Khemlani joining us now with the founding CEO of that company. Hey, Anj.
Hey, Shauna, that's right. Joining us now, Margo Georgiadis, and I'm so sorry, Margo, if I mispronounced that, founding CEO of Flagship and Pioneering and the CEO of Montai Health. Really interesting news today, both for, the old company helped launch and the new one too. Chronic disease, really a major part of spend in the country going for years, and it continues to be a concern in the future. So this is a really interesting sort of new platform you're launching. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, thank you for having me today. And it is an exciting day for Moderna and Montai. Montai is a new company that's unlocking the power of nature with digital technologies, as you said, to solve today's biggest healthcare challenge, the immense and growing burden of chronic disease, which, is afflicting over 2 billion people around the globe, and includes diseases like inflammatory and autoimmune diseases, heart, lung, and kidney disease. And I'm sure that everyone listening today knows someone who's impacted by one of these diseases.
So talk to me about what Montai is specifically doing, because I tend to think about, looking at molecules in a collection of molecules, kind of like, a digital version of the pill book, which is the analog version. So walk me through what's going on here.
Yeah, so if we look at how we approach treatments today, we typically intervene more at the later stages of disease. Therapies are not safe for long-term use, and we're not addressing the underlying drivers of disease. We typically go after a lot of the symptoms, and we need to completely reimagine our approach to treating these diseases if we're going to make a dent in the enormous human and societal costs of these diseases, and technology is now enabling us to do that for the first time. So at Montai, our approach, it's uniquely human-centered. Our medicines are based on what we call anthromolecules, which is a privileged class of molecules that have a long history of safe, chronic human consumption. So think about it like this. We've always talked about the fact that food is medicine, but we actually haven't known exactly how it impacts our biology at a molecular level. And that's what we're doing at Montai. We're systematically understanding that so that we can create a next generation of medicines. And what's exciting is that all of our 40 medicines, actually well-known FDA-approved medications with a history for safe long-term use for diseases like Parkinson's, asthma, and heart disease, are already here. We just have not mined this unbelievably exciting chemical space systematically to create a next generation of therapeutics.
I know that in a statement today, we got a comment from your counterpart noting that you're asking the question, what is the key to preempting or treating chronic diseases with molecules we already consume? And I know that also includes, what we know about, to your point, food, but also herbal medicine and the like. So it seems like it's a very broad range and kind of veers outside what we think about when it comes to the drug industry today. I'm curious about how this fits into the whole conversation about cloud computing and their whole hold on the industry right now. Moderna, for example, really able to capitalize on that in discovering the COVID vaccine formula. So is that sort of where this is headed?
So absolutely, it's a cousin. We see this beautiful pile of keys sitting in nature, just waiting to be unearthed. And we're using it advances in technology, the digitization of chemistry, plus the digitization of biology, the much deeper understanding of our biological pathways, all the omics data, so that we can find as many lock and pathway key combinations as possible. We may have to polish a few of these a bit so that they work even better, but AI and machine learning And the digitization of this space is what's enabling us to do this like never before. There were initiatives, say, back in the 30s and 40s. That's where antibiotics or antifungals came from. But typically, it's been a little bit more serendipitous discovery. But now with AI machine learning, we can do this systemically at scale for as many pathways and diseases as possible. And we believe we can usher in a completely new way of thinking about safe therapeutics that can be pathway modulating, which gives us that chance to intervene earlier and potentially slow or even stop the progression of some of these really challenging chronic diseases.
What's the low-hanging fruit there? What do you think is the easiest target to go after first in the chronic disease space?
We are starting in the autoimmune and inflammatory space because we see such enormous unmet needs for those patients. And we're very excited to begin advancing a pipeline of therapeutics over the next couple of years.
Sounds good. Well, we'll have to keep an eye on that. Margo, Georgiadis, thank you so much for joining us today.